There we are. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Nature Check, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science. This is the third episode of our Burn campaign, a post-apocalyptic game for apocalyptic times. Why is that so hard for me to say? We are playing Legacy: Life Among the Ruins. First, as always, we have a few announcements. Thank you to those of you who are watching us live. If you have questions for the cast, feel free to post them in the Twitch chat, and I'll bring them up when we take our break. If you're not watching us live, thanks for catching us on video at our YouTube channel or on our podcast. We appreciate you coming along with us on our adventures. Don't forget, subscriptions on any of our platforms, as well as comments and reviews, really help us out, so thanks in advance for doing all of those things. And the social media information for the entire Nature Check cast, so that's 2 RPG campaigns plus the occasional video gamers, can be found down in the reference section below. Just a reminder that even though this weekend is Xander's birthday and also technically a holiday weekend in the United States, please don't break social distancing recommendations. Burgers and beer are not worth a spike in COVID-19 cases next week. Please be safe. We care about you. And when the announcements are over, it's time for introductions. Hello, I'm Sheryl, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and when I'm not doing my research, you can find me on YouTube as the Roving Naturalist, and here on Nature Check, like, twice a week or something. For the Burn campaign, I'll be running the family called the Ripples, and my first character's name is Islae, although tonight I might be playing someone else. Next, we've got Jordan.
Hey everyone, I'm Jordan. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying medical engineering, and my work focuses on brain stimulation for anesthesia. When I'm not doing this, you can usually find me on my YouTube channel, where I talk about how we interact with AI and algorithms on a day-to-day basis. And for this campaign, I'm running the family The Institute, and my first character is Lissa.
Awesome. Then we've got Peter.
My name is Peter Coffey. My pronouns are he, him. I am a county extension agent in Maryland, but currently I am kind of homesteading in North Carolina and working from home. And I play the Shepherds of the Cave family, and my first character's name is Charon.
And then we've got Xander.
Hi, I'm Xander. It's my birthday weekend. I'm in my mid-late 20s now. I have a couple of degrees in psychology, but I'm still, as far as I am aware, not able to mind control people. So as soon as I get the PhD, I'll let you know if that changes. Let's see. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing the Bowerbirds in this campaign, the lawgivers of the wasteland. And I've never been to Maryland or North Carolina, but from what I hear, those are states.
I'm
so true.
I'm muting myself so that you can't hear my hound dog baying outside. So
could you get more country?
Oh God,
he's a plot hound, which is the state dog of North Carolina. Just saying.
Fact.
No kidding. What's everyone else's state dogs? I don't actually know mine. Our state fish, though, is the Garibaldi, the marine fish. We have a state freshwater fish, but I don't know what that is because freshwater fish. You know what I mean? What?
Wow, I didn't realize we were starting with hot takes on fish tonight.
I did. No, I didn't either.
Tell us who you are.
Any other place to start?
Yeah, I'm Jareth. I run this game. My pronouns are they, them. My background is nuclear physics and astrophysics. I work on 12 Tone, which we just talked about AI this week with Jordan. That was pretty cool, but usually we're a music theory channel. So that's cool too. Yeah.
Was I supposed to mention my YouTube channel? Whoops.
You can do it. It's art
Forget
explained,
the laundry
right?
list of things. Yeah, I'm 12 subscribers away from 5,000, so maybe that'll give me my control powers too.
Oh, hey.
Nice.
I was hoping to hit that on my birthday, but I think I'm gonna miss it by a couple of days.
12.
So we'll see how it goes. But I run Art Explains Science and History, and I'm working on a video about depression right now.
Mm-hmm.
And not surprisingly, it's pretty depressing. So I'm going to try to find a way to make it a little bit more lighthearted before I
Why was that the topic you
release
picked
it.
for right now?
Yeah.
It's topical.
It's topical, yeah.
But that's...
Met me, Sheryl.
Hey, before we get too far on, we were gonna go with Jordan to explore a cool AI facility, and we were gonna explore the mechanic of quick characters, which nobody. So basically, viewers, players, that's just you make a character quickly. It's exactly what it sounds. So I'm gonna just give you each some character sheets. But I should have done this before. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. So to expand on the idea of quick characters a little bit, to make sure I understand it correctly
Perfect.
and for the viewers, my understanding is that we're kind of like NPCs that the GM doesn't have to run. Is that?
Whoop. Yep. Sorry, my cat just knocked over the cat food bag.
Of course they did.
All right.
But yeah, we're not like the quick characters don't have as much like in-depth backstory and stuff as like a normal player character, right? So they're just
exactly. It's significant
helpers.
members of your family that are like aren't necessarily the player character, or that aren't the player character, not just necessarily. But oh crap! I'm just putting these in your journals. I'm not actually giving you control. Hang on, I need to do that again. Okay, now.
So anyway,
but yeah,
fish don't
basically,
exist. That's my hot take on fish.
fish don't exist.
Whoa. I've heard about birds not existing, but I did not know that fish didn't exist too.
if
All right,
According
let's
to
do
Cletus.
this. Will I get the things
if fish
going? Go
don't
ahead.
exist, then you don't exist because we're all fish.
That's right.
Wait,
We
we're
belong
all
to the same
fish?
plate as
Yeah.
fish.
This is news.
All right. So you should all now have character sheets on Roll20.
I'm
They're
assuming these
weird
were
at.
randomly
They're
generated names.
Yep.
Cool.
I did not pick those, although you could at least imagine viewers their key smashes. Viewers, listeners, whichever. So yeah, they all get. Let's see. So from Jordan's family. Oh, right. The family character sheet. Hang on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what am I looking at?
So just the specifics of the quick characters are because they are quick characters from your family. The moves and whatnot that they get and stats that they get are affected by that. And you were the
Yeah, like I've got
Enclave,
5
Mhm.
inheritance moves to pick from.
yeah.
Okay. Except I can't read any of them on Roll20 because reasons.
Yep. Roll20 decided to get rid of the family character sheet, which I get it. Right. That's
Do
the family
Do we
playbook
get it?
that- No, but like we're here. We're handling it. We're here. You're the Enclave, right? Is your playbook?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, inheritance. There we go. So each of you gets to pick one stat to have a +1 and one stat to have a -1 in words, huh? The rest are 0, and then you add 1 to lore or steal, because they're from Jordan's family again. If you look at the Enclave playbook, there are some moves that you can get. You get 1 for kind of your role. So if you look at the quick character thing, that's again leader, agent, rebel, or outsider. You're not leaders in the Institute, obviously, but as grad students, I think you can be any of the other 3. I mean, what are the young but rebels, right?
Wow, that was very poetic.
I stole it from Le Guin. Anything good that I say, you can probably assume that Ursula Le Guin said first. But maybe not. You never know. I just work on that assumption, and then I'm not disappointed when I'm clever and cheap, and it's original, you know? What are we doing?
Okay, I found the
so,
list of
yeah.
inheritance moves, I think, for the Enclave.
Okay, yeah.
Is there
so
a
you pick
specific one we need to pick, or does it not matter?
Like I said, not leader. Agent, rebel, or outsider is fine. And then from the Enclave, you get a radio rig, which lets you sense tech. You get a pain box, which is a weapon of a sort. A survey drone, a cool car, or you're really smart. The first time a person receives advice from you based on your knowledge, they gain fleeting advantage acting on it. So you can confer advantage based on an area of expertise.
Already typing hot rod, so.
Already typing hot rod. Excellent. Do you have a name for your grad student? We can gear you up first. I know that's
I go with Rod.
Yes, you absolutely can, and not only can you, but you should.
Sorry, I feel like maybe I skipped over this part in my
Go
brain. Which playbooks are we choosing from for these characters? Is it any of them except Elder and Leader? Or...
No. So in the Story Moves chapter, and then at the very bottom of the reference sheets, there's a quick character. Oh, there we are. A quick character sheet.
Okay.
Right above. Yeah, right below the Untamed in the handouts.
Okay.
I just found it myself. I was working from two separate things.
I see.
It's fine.
Okay.
So you, yeah. Oh, you can even fill in from the web handout. That's actually might be useful for you guys. Given how Roll20's being right now, which is not too bad actually. It's just like doing one thing weird and predictably so. But Xander, you had a name. It was Rod. Let's also gear you up with assets from the Institute, who I believe, actually, I have this down. You had engineering and morale, so you get 2 pieces of gear that are related to those tags, as well as the gear options that Jordan chose for the Institute. What were they, Jordan?
Let's see.
Sorry, this is one of the things that lost on us. I think you had scholars, which is what they are.
Scholars, mobile ICU.
Oh yeah, and weird grenades.
And yeah, weird grenades.
Okay, so everybody take. Don't take scholars. That's what you are. But in addition, you can all kind of look at a piece of gear that you might. Tag that you might want to add to that gear, based on engineering and medicine. Is that the answer? No, morale. Sorry, the surpluses of engineering or morale that Jordan's Institute has. So I don't know who wants to do that. Anyone? Xander, you had a name of Rod, so I was kind of focusing on you, but Peter or Sheryl, you can go too.
Well, I'm not sure what I'm doing here, so I'm adding an extra tag to my weird grenades. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah, you can add kind of whatever tag you want. Let me take a look at some that might be interesting for weapons. Because you have I think enough. I haven't geared up with the quick character thing yet, which is slightly different, I think. Far, brutal area, many on the grenades. For a vehicle, it can be durable, mighty, it could be swift, things like that. We're not even necessarily completely bound to the game rule tags, anything that you're thinking. But let me quickly go look at the quick characters section again to figure out the gear again, because there's a couple. Take gear. Oh, I'm sorry. So you just take those 3 things, and then you get to describe a particular accessory that's notable or significant to you. So Jordan, I think, gets to make the complicated decisions. You guys just have to have cool goggles or a scarf or whatever. What do you guys have? And then a looks.
Wait, what complicated decision am I making?
You get more cool gear than they do because you're a main character.
Okay.
So when we gear you up, that'll be slightly more complicated. But gearing them up is just giving them the things for your family, plus a cool set of earrings or whatever they feel in, necklace, boots, a tattoo, whatever.
So I don't
So
need
yeah.
the character, right?
No, your character is the character that this scene of
Okay.
exploring the awakened artificial military base is about. And so you get to just sit back and play who you have already. But at some point, you may have to do someone else's family.
Okay.
But that's not yet. So let's go around. Xander, since you had a name, do you maybe have an accessory and a kind of physical description? What do you look like? It's got some choices for you if you want to pick from them. If you want to just make it up, you can do that too.
I went with agent for my role, and I think I'm going to go with.
Oh right, yes, yeah, the inherent. Go ahead. Oh, you already had Hot Rod for the inheritance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I'm going to go with. I don't know if I can play a serious character. I'll go with scowling.
You don't have to.
I'll go with scowling and calculating as my look.
Scowling and calculating. I love it. You've got a name. All right, perfect. And you, it has a role, but we all know that you're grad students. You're, is that right?
So yeah.
Lissa with an L or?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I had it with no L in my head. Lissa, you're her grad students.
For my area of expertise, for the fact that I'm an agent, I put wayfinding.
Okay, yeah.
I drive my
that
hot
makes
rod
sense.
and I find my way places.
So you're basically playing the same character, but as a grad student.
No, because I have driving gloves as my accessory.
Okay, that's the key. Yeah, it's I mean, driving gloves and a cool lab coat. You all have lab coats. I am enforcing that. It makes no sense in this setting. I completely agree, but I just don't care. I need
that
this.
Just seems accurate, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Like over, your like 18 jackets, there's like the final layer. That could even be like a cool white trench coat. Like that's fine, actually. I think that's the like post-apocalyptic update on the lab coat is like a white trench coat. How we feel about that?
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
seems
canon.
good.
All right.
I love
Okay. Excellent.
Now, when it says take
Sheryl-
gear,
go ahead.
gear according to your family's assets, is that just weird grenades, or was there something else?
Let's see. The other two were a mobile ICU, which I think more or less applies to the group, and likewise grad students, which is you, and as such, I don't think you get to take.
My grad students have grad students.
So yeah, I think you all just have weird grenades, the signature weapons of the Institute, because as we discussed last time, you're like the Green Hornet of grenades. Actually, I think it doesn't matter. But like you got all sorts of weird grenades that do all sorts of weird things. It's fun, exciting. Yeah, cool. I think that's all the decisions I need from you until we get started. I'm gonna make the rest up as we go along. Sheryl, Peter, do either of you know what you're Sheryl? Excellent.
Sure. I started reading the roles for the quick characters and saw Outsider with strange abilities.
Perfect.
And maybe because I've been watching Avatar, I thought of Ty Lee. So I feel like that's who I'm building right now. So yeah, Kina is an outsider, grad student with the Institute. So she's very like, I mean, not like overly effeminate, but just that sort of like cheerful, bubbly, optimistic, like Ty Lee. Yeah. And I did stats accordingly. So what else do I need?
Oh yeah. Let's see. You had stats. You get a cool accessory.
Okay. Gosh, I don't know. Oh wait, one of the inheritance ones or something else? Oh, just like my.
Oh no,
my
the
fun
accessory
flavor
is
thing?
just like
Okay.
yeah, that's a cool flavor thing.
Fun.
You don't
flavor
have to.
thing.
You also get an inheritance move. That's the other
Okay.
actual decision that I think ends up being made now that I've seen this happen once. I'm so sorry, Xander, that we had to test with you, but somebody had to go first.
I think to go with the anime theme, because she's got the big long braid like Ty Lee does. It's her accessory is like a obnoxiously giant pink bow on the bottom of the base of her braid.
Beautiful, excellent.
And I will take the radio rig so I can sense when tech is within a mile and track it down to within 100 meters.
That makes sense. That's definitely somebody we would want to have on hand for exploring a base that seems to be like doing something weird. Cool. And that leaves Peter.
Okay, so I'm gonna play Tin, who is an elfin kind of man, like very bony, thin features. He is it's young, like 20.
How are his ears?
Normal human shaped.
Alright.
Yeah. Just kind of has that almost sickly look to him. Just a very, very thin, kind of sallow. Doesn't get out much. Kind of looks like.
Well, no one gets out much.
That's true. Out of the particular caves that the cultivators or that the shepherds live in. So I'm gonna pick the surgeon background, which is one of the things that I can pick in my inheritance move, I guess.
Sweet. Which one?
With a few hours of dedicated treatment, you can clear all of someone's harm boxes with all of your. It's one of the quick inheritance moves for. Or am I?
No, you grab from because you're quick characters from the Enclave.
From the Enclave. Oh, I got
their
you.
inheritance moves.
Got you. Okay. Then what are my options?
But I mean, did you hear that, everyone? It sounds very good. You'll get a chance to grab it when Peter's the center character.
Oh man. I want the pain box. That seems awesome.
Oh dear.
I'm glad that you all kind of chose different things. That really makes my job easier. You know,
we know how to play role-playing
games.
You
a more no, exactly.
Yeah, Tin just went in my head.
Been interesting too.
From being like very helpful and quiet, like I'm gonna sew you back up, to being a sociopath because the pain box causes intense pain in anyone within a few dozen meters.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
dear.
Is it 10 like the number or tin like the metal?
10 like the metal.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I don't hear a distinction between those two words, so I will probably pronounce them in a confusing way.
No, that's fine.
I mean, that's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah. No, it's a southern thing.
Sure.
10.
Yeah, those sound the same to me.
Hurt yourself over it.
Yeah. So I'm the same with like pen and pin. They sound the same to me too.
Great British Bake Off yesterday, and they said meringue so many times it doesn't sound real even now.
I hate it when that happens with a word.
Yeah. Now, with Jordan, we gotta gear you up too. We're zooming in, but like on your character, so you get cool gear options unlike these nerds. Yeah, sorry. So you get your. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you get to add tags to your stuff. You have those two assets of engineering and morale, so you can kind of improve. I do not remember what we did with it exactly last time to make your stuff cooler. Oh, right, we made your grad students better.
We're better.
Well,
we made my grad students better, and I think my grenades weirder.
Excellent. Well, we could keep weirder. That's cool, but we do already have the grad students here. So do you want to pick something else to do with that? I will get to the gear section in a second and see what that is.
Smarter, weirder, faster, stronger.
Yeah, you can add a tag to your gear, or let's see, you can get as many copies to outfit the whole party. Everyone kind of has their weird grenades, and the vehicle is kind of like a mobile ICU, and I see that as big enough for 3 people, especially since you've got the chaser on the hot rod. Or lead vehicle, whatever you're doing. I don't know.
How is the elevator up out of the caves big enough for that thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm picturing like mining gear elevator.
Oh,
like,
okay, right. So it's like
everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, this was. I think a lot of kind of our deepest, best holes right now are mines. And they have these huge elevators set to bring stuff to and from the that very deep levels. So very big machines, and so yeah, you can definitely bring vehicles up. It's kind of the main access point for the surface, so it needs to be able to really transport heavy shit. That's why I kind of was picturing it on those clanking gears that turning up, like in not Fallout. Nice.
Not a sponsor.
So yeah. Oh, get at me.
I mean, yeah.
I'll change this whole game for you.
Hey, yo, we tried to get Guy Fieri on the show already. Like, our dreams are big.
Isn't his last name pronounced Fieri, or am I crazy?
I guess if
He
you wanted,
pronounces it that way in the show.
if you wanted to be super Italian about the pronunciation, I was just pronouncing it like a dirty American. Sorry.
I don't know. I was going off of what my brain was telling me.
No, I think.
But then again, I haven't watched anything
correct
that he's done in a while. So let's agree that his name is Guy.
Guy?
I think we could agree on that.
Maybe perhaps Guy.
So yeah, you can get scattering reports or how to tag Jordan, or I think adding quality doesn't really make to the followers doesn't quite make sense for how the scene's going.
Wait, what was the first one?
Add a tag that kind of has to do with, I think, what was it, morale, right?
Okay.
Like your vehicle or your grenades, or you can get some data which you can spend to do something. I'm sure we haven't gotten to it yet.
I mean, I don't know how you add morale to grenades.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
What does get some data do?
Okay, I found the thing. Data is mostly used on an uncover secrets roll, which you kind of basically get to ask questions on on the world, how to like get rid of surpluses, to get surpluses, get rid of needs. You do want to surpluses, get rid of someone else's surplus. I guess you could probably use it for that. It doesn't say that here, so maybe not. Anyhow, you can kind of ask some questions and add some stuff to the map.
And that's like in general, or like within the context of this group?
So data is kind of abstract. You could spend it now and then, it is about this thing, but you can also hold on to it to spend it later, and then it's about something else. It kind of
hold on to it and spend it later. I don't know what questions to ask, but I feel like that would be
that's fair
to have in the back of your pocket for later.
Yeah, I'm into that, especially because like Morales kind of doesn't quite fit that well in what we're doing here. I don't think.
I'm thinking of like an the elevator, but mobile ICU, and
that's
I don't love it.
Yeah, that's fine. So I think let's just get a quick wilderness survival roll out of the way. It's a fairly losable path, I have to imagine. So you, that's probably fine. Xander, you said Rod. Can I pronounce his name like that? I assume it is. So. Okay, cool. Rod with a hot rod. Gets I don't know necessarily if you put the stats into it, but give me a not family moves, the character moves. Survival. Yeah. The kind of overland, a steel route, which you could be good at. I don't know what you went with.
I rolled an 8.
8. Okay, yeah. Wasteland survival.
And you're dead. That's why they're critical.
Aw.
Obstacle or threat is.
You did not survive the wasteland.
No, and I hit you. I don't even want to do one of those right now. That's fine. I don't think. I just kind of needed to make sure you guys could get there. I think it's more interesting. Like, we could put an obstacle or threat on the way back. I mean, Xander gets to pick anyways, but it doesn't just. None of it really feels like that essential to the scene I kind of want to really dial in on here. You know what I mean? So let's give some consequences for that only partial success that was supposed to have something. I'd rather do it that way. So
Thank
we
you,
get kind of
merciful
to these. I'm allowed to do that. It says in the things I can do, nothing. As
No
even
rules.
if they roll real bad. That's true. There's no rules. There's a section on what I should. Anyhow, we arrived therefore at these gigantic kind of open mine gates. The gates. I don't think gates is right. Doors. It's fine. I don't need to focus on that. That doesn't seem important. So the tracks lead back in as usual. I don't even think we necessarily, Jordan, I assume your interest is actually, you know what, Jordan, what's your interest here? Why are we here? What sort of stuff is your, because we kind of know there's a bioreactor. We saw that there do seem to be some little drones skittering around the place.
I guess just trying to map where the drones are going to, like trace that back
trying
to
to find
whatever
Okay.
source or home,
cool.
Whatever.
So we did discover
Before we-
last time that it was like an AI controlling the drones, right? So you
that
seemed
was
interested in
entirely kind of an out-of-game sort of. I was telling you, the players, that
Gotcha.
the kind of thing you got was that. Actually, I think, yeah, Jordan reasonably came away. Lissa came away with the impression that like they were kind of part of a network sort of thing because there was a couple of them and they seemed to be acting both similarly and in tandem. Does that feel right to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
If not, we can retcon it. The story is ever in flux.
And they were using the tube like a pneumatic tube communication system.
Yeah, it
to
had
leave.
like a
Which makes the
pneumatic tube system.
Yes.
And they were like crawling through it. Just because I thought that would look cool. And it
Yeah.
does.
It does.
Picture it. It looks really cool. And if you're not picturing it looking cool enough, that's on you. So yeah, in that case, you can kind of get into the back of the lab. Abs, I think you guys have been here a lot of times. In particular, Sheryl, you picked the stuff finding talent, right? Yeah. So as such, I think like you are like the kind of guide, like the pathfinder of the group. And so like you in a place you've been several times, I don't think I need to roll to get you to the back with the labs. So what you find as you're heading though is a lot fewer of the mites than you remember usually, and additionally occasionally you can spot one of these little like camera bots, and kind of the second you do, they'll kind of close their eyes and skitter away, only to kind of be following you again in the distance. But like they want, if you look at them, they react poorly. That seems to be their kind of primary motivation right now, is avoiding being looked at while looking at you. You yeah. So I'm looking for a role to kind of. Actually, I think the kind of. I'm just looking for kind of an investigation role, which I think we already unearthed forgotten lore on this landmark. So it isn't necessarily that, but like I'm looking for something for. Oh, Jordan, why don't you give me a lore roll, and we'll just kind of play it as a lore roll to see kind of how well you're able to figure out what these guys are up to and where they're headed. Okay, yeah, you got a partial success with a 9, and so you can definitely follow them. They frustratingly, wherever they seem to be going, they seem to be kind of coming and going from a place downstairs, which you guys have attempted but been unable so far to access via the gigantic elevator shaft. As well as there are some smaller ones in the back, I think, kind of behind, that are more like, service elevators or whatever, rather than like the big main one for the kind of mine. Probably, I assume. I don't know how mines work. I've been very upfront about this.
We have
especially not secret research facilities built into mines.
Do we have the ability to build like a tracking device or something that we could send through the tube and see where it ends up?
That'd be a weird
Like a pipe snake?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a weird grenade, right?
With a research and development period of only a few minutes.
A search and destroy. No, yeah, okay. No, that's unleashed power. That's when you.
I guess we could just tie a string around one of the drones and let it continue on its way.
Oh, wow.
Very low-tech solution.
Good. That actually would work probably. If you have a long enough string,
He wants to
you'd have to catch one first.
Oh.
Is that... What's the... Sorry, go ahead. Who wants to roll what now?
Oh, to lasso the bots.
Yeah. String is very useful. You can use it to lasso the bot and to follow the bot.
If they're in a tube, maybe Rod could go noodling for one and just stick his arm in until he catches one.
Now who's Southern?
Yeah, I'm Northern. What was that?
Catfishing term?
Noodling, when you stick your arm up to the shoulder in a hole in a stream bank and wait for a catfish to bite your
and
hand.
hope that it isn't a snapping turtle.
Yeah, or a snake or something. Yeah.
All right.
There's like a whole show on like Animal Planet or National Geographic or Discovery somewhere.
I've seen one episode of that show, which
whole
is why I'm familiar with what you're talking about.
Where people do that.
Although Vanessa and I have watched a couple of episodes of Naked and Afraid recently, so we've also learned a bit about wilderness survival from that show.
Have you?
On that show, you mainly learn how not to do it on that show.
For starters, clothes. Clothes are important. So how do you guys want to go about like tracking these?
Clothed. That's how I'm.
Yes.
Clothed is a good start.
That's not in your gear.
Oh no!
Like, do you want to try and?
No, it is. We have lab coats.
Yeah, I was promised a white leather lab coat.
Yep.
We'll just keep it cinched closed.
I know
It's
somebody who
cold
knows a lot about
outside.
insects who probably has
Clothes.
some kind of webbing that we could use as a string.
Did you?
Does what with
anymore?
insects?
They're not here.
This is a secret mission.
Oh, right.
You guys are on
Yeah.
a secret mission.
not
You
friends
can't
with
tell
them.
yourselves.
We can't tell ourselves.
Tell yourselves, it ruins the whole
I
thing.
look for something I can use as string. A spool of
You can definitely find
wire.
it. Yeah,
perhaps.
like wires. I think I was about to go there too. Probably.
Does this
I
secret
mean-
research facility have wires in it?
Boy, I hope so.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Especially overhead, but like rummaging around the cabinets, you find some copper wire that was designed because like I don't know. I've been in enough electronics labs that there's a lot of copper wire bits. Like, don't come at me. Don't question me. Yeah.
Good. Then I will
I'll
wrestle
say
a robot.
because like All right, give me a robot wrestling roll.
Is that force?
That seems like you're trying to diffuse the situation. Is I think how I'm gonna.
I think you just picked the name for this episode.
So, force is physical exertion. Endurance or quick action is steel, and that feels a bit more apropos, I think. Because you're not like wrestling it to the ground. You're trying to go. Whoa!
So I'm gonna roll steel then.
Yeah, steel is the one that's quick action. I'm learning these.
I missed.
Oh no. Then take a harm. As
It was
you
a
get
snapping
scratched.
turtle.
No, you get it in your hand, but it turns out that the little I'm giving it 3 legs because that's very sci-fi of me. It turns out that they have very pointy bits at the end, mostly designed for sticking into walls if they need to, but also designed they kind of flail when you grab it and cut your hand open, so you drop it.
I use my hand that isn't cut open
And
to
it
write that in
skitters
my
off.
lab notebook that they have pointy bits on them.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. Test and see if it happens again.
I am a scientist.
You need at least 30 replications for the
that's
power
right.
of the statistical test.
Right?
Huh?
So 30 more times, take 30
Well,
harm
29 more
everyone.
times. Yeah.
You're right. 29 harm. You can distribute it however you'd like. Total party kill. Excellent. And we're moving on. That was a great game, everyone. Thanks for tuning out. No. So, you find it kind of skittering away. And
I laugh at him,
Me too.
lying there holding his bleeding hand.
I feel like my laughter is distinctly different from yours somehow.
Yeah.
Mine
is cruel.
I bleed menacingly.
The lights in this room turn on.
Oh.
Ooh,
Well, hey, at
Yeah.
least you got the lights turned on.
that's new. I thought the power didn't work.
Yeah, I thought so
Wasn't-
too.
Wasn't the power downstairs or something?
You would think so.
Okay, now I actually think we do need those 30 samples. Come on, need light.
Classic PI.
right.
No, please
Take
keep
some
hurting
damage.
yourself.
Maybe the facility feeds on your blood, Rod. Try
My
bleeding
blood-
some more on
my
it.
blood specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your blood is so electrifying.
Is that what are you trying to grab another one? Is that the plan?
Hell
In
yeah.
response to the lights turn. Okay, cool. No, that's fair. I just wanted to know.
Don't forget that if you need help, you can ask for it. You don't have to be a man and do things all by yourself.
Partial success.
That's Rod for you. Rod. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't say that was amazing.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Stop yawning, Rod. This is supposed to be a fun game.
Rod.
Are you not entertained?
So far, very much feels like whatever the first arc of Balance was, where they're in
That's
that
fair.
fucking cave.
Yeah, no, you guys have come back to this place. It's more than I expected, but it does make sense. But that's kinda I like that about kind of the way this game plays by giving you all the map details, because in character creation, viewers and listeners, they all got to put a thing on 3 things on the map kind of associated with their faction so this actually is the Institute made this secret military research base happen, which also explains why they're so interested. But I think that's cool. I really like this game. But that's not what's happening right now. We are doing a partial success. Does anyone want to help Rod and maybe take that to a full success?
Did you want help?
Get a call for aid, although I will say, yeah, he has to initiate that move.
One help, please.
Oh,
What
gosh.
did you
Rod.
say we were rolling? Steel? To snag it?
Yeah, catch it.
I will roll steel to snag it. Yoink.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you move it up. You capture yourself a little robot. This time you find the right,
I flip it upside down,
stroke.
like if you've ever... Peter's gonna make fun of me for being Southern again, but if you've ever hypnotized a frog, you flip them on their back and you rub their stomach with your finger and they just lay there like they're paralyzed. I do that to the robot.
Peter, go ahead.
It's like you're constantly just walking into it. I think you're continuously trying to one up me on being country. I love it. I'm here for it.
Wasn't intentional. It was just the first thing that popped into my head.
I Yankee ass had never heard of that.
Next time we hang out, we'll go to a pond and catch some frogs.
Yeah, y'all come on down anytime.
Well, hang on. Guys, I believe we're advocating just at the start of the show. Anyhow.
Nope, we gotta wait until phase 5. 4? 5? I don't know.
So
Anyway.
you give it a little
I'll wrap the little drone robot in some of the wire, and then I will have someone else look at it to make sure I did it right before I release it.
No, that. Okay, yeah, you kind of have a spool of wire heading down a tube now, or not now, but shortly thereafter, after it's kind of whirs back to life, skitters off down into the tubes. It quickly starts spooling afterwards. I don't think we need to roll a knot tying check. We're not playing D&D. So yeah, it works. You've got now this kind of, I'm willing to give you, God, how long is a standard coil of wire? We're going to Google this right now. Coil of wire. That doesn't help.
Go on some
Shopping.
lab supply website and...
Yeah, 500 seems...
500 what?
That does seem like a number.
Units, man.
Feet.
500 units.
500 units.
I guess
500
I'm looking at this big 10-pound thing of wire, and that's about 2,000 feet. And so we're not doing that. 1 pound of wire, again, thanks Google. 1 pound of wire will get you about 2,000 feet. So let's say it's that long.
This is like when we looked up how much a shovel weighs.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we did that?
Look, sometimes D&D.
I have no memory of that.
You guys were trying to figure out if you could use Mage Hand to lift a shovel to bury the guy that died because you didn't save him in time. Anyway.
I've been there.
Other universe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a large coil of wire. Really, looking up footage wasn't actually important. It kind of goes well down. It spools out, but goes out of the room through kind of the pneumatic system in tube-matic. Anyhow, system in the back of the room, so can't necessarily follow it from here, but now it's in the wiring and you can at least follow it, see where this little dude's been. Yeah.
So the tube is clear and we can see where it's like...
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's a little, you see the pneumatic tube system, they're clear, just to make it look cooler. Maybe you haven't. It's not like they're a thing that exists. I've only ever seen them in a museum.
No, banks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
You know when you deposit a check in the drive-thru?
No.
Isn't that, I think that's what Xander used to describe it last time because you made the
That is what I used to describe
sound,
it last time, yes.
Yeah. That's fair, but
I mean, I've never ever used one of those.
But,
I've only ever used an ATM, but
right, exactly.
I remember my mom doing it, and then there would be a lollipop when it came back.
I saw my uncle I think I saw my uncle do it once, so here we are.
Nostalgia.
Anyhow. Yeah, you got these pneumatic tubes. They're clear, but how long do you kind of wait to let it unspool before, or do you try to head to a different room? Do you, I don't know, try and crawl through the tubes somehow? They're not big enough for you, so that would suck. But don't. Just don't. I changed my mind.
I stick my head
Don't.
inside the tube just to like see if I can see anything. Just
You can see your hand.
Yeah.
no, my head. No, my head. I'm like,
Oh, your head. I don't think a head fits. I think you can stick an arm in, but I don't think you could.
Oh, yeah,
fit
that's
I'm
my
gifting
lab
that
notebook.
later, by the way.
A skull.
What?
Head does not fit.
Please don't. I have an internet reputation to maintain. I have now pictured what that looks like in gift form, and I don't want it. But it's too late now. I've done this thing. So, do you kind of immediately like try and tug it like a fish? Do you let it spool all the way out before? I got a big one. No, but like,
woo, doggy.
wouldn't it? Thank you. I appreciate lending the authenticity I couldn't to that.
This adventure becomes so southern fried so quickly.
You're
welcome.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not the one who was like, I turned off my microphone because my hound dog.
That was during the intro.
Gang, please, I'm begging you. What are you doing with this drone? Lissa, you can take control because you're the PI. If you want, or you can let them just do their thing because you're the PI.
Yeah. I think
All right, excellent.
follow my advisor.
We're happy about it.
You can't hear us, Cheryl. We can't hear you.
Wait,
Did we
you
lose Cheryl?
just...
Okay, now.
Oh god.
I heard that.
What are all of these notifications? Okay. Sorry, you all disappeared. Like, I could still see you, but I couldn't hear you. And then, I don't
Are you
know,
back?
Zoom caught up. It's fine. We're back. Sorry about that, everyone.
Cool. Cheryl's
Internet hiccups.
Jordan, you were saying something.
Oh, no.
Just that we were,
I think we were good.
letting the grad students handle it. Excellent. Grad
Yeah.
Did I
students.
learn any new information from where it went while it was attached to the wire?
I went into most of these kind of labs and electronic things and whatever have like two tubes, one in, one out is kind of how I remember these things working. And if not, that's how it is now. But I'm pretty sure that's how pneumatic systems work anyways. It went into one of them. They're not clearly labeled anymore anyways. So, and given that they're not like pressurized in any way anymore, I think several of them have, broken glass or whatever. Actually, I think it's probably not even glass. It's a polymer or some sort, but it's nonetheless cracked and whatever over time. It's not airtight. It's not pressurized. And so you couldn't necessarily even tell which one was in, which one was out. It went into one of them.
So what you're saying is they don't make a noise anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Sad.
I
Did
know.
it go
Yeah.
in a tube that's going in a direction, like, towards the door, like the front doors of the facility, or like towards the back
that's
or
fair.
down? Like,
I was honestly thinking of
or to the side, whichever.
I was thinking
There are
of
three
the hallway
dimensions.
you're in as kind of having been perpendicular to the kind of main hallway down which the machines are moved. So the 10's even high. I don't know, 6-7 meter tall. That's still very tall, but like some things are that. 10 might even be right. Anyhow, I'm veering wildly off topic here. I think probably they're moving away from that main tunnel. I'm viewing kind of like a hallway with like the labs. So the labs and rooms are all kind of lined up. So I think the one that it went into went that way. And also if you let it spool out for a bit, you can tell that they're both pretty quick and also pretty strong for their size, because even if you apply a bit of pressure, it just like keeps on pulling without much notice in the much difference in the speed.
Okay.
And
Well,
that's
I
the
don't know
robot
if we
update.
learned-
What did you do, Peter, to your eye? It's red now.
He looks like a
It's
droid.
just
Yeah, dude.
it's just my
I love it.
my mic when I mute myself. It's
That's glorious. All right, that's neither here nor there. Xander, you've got actually anyone who wants to do something with this
Can
information.
I use the information that I learned from paying attention to how it was pulling on the wire to try and get advantage in exploring, to try and figure out where it was going? Like if I make
Yeah,
a
I think
roll
that's fair.
to wayfind?
Yeah, this is the I think where I'd like to make that pathfinding roll, because like finding your way back here just wasn't it. But where forge a path is a force roll, and I think it's more about the terrain. But I think we'll get to that in a little bit, depending on how you roll.
Okay.
It's certainly kind of oh boy. Does anyone want to help? Even if you do, you rolled a 5, which is a miss.
Rolling very well today.
But if somebody helps, they can help, but also share in consequences.
I will help.
Okay.
Mainly because I'm not really helping, but I really enjoy watching the drone like struggle through the tube, and so I'm really more just like following it because I enjoy seeing it just like.
Oh yeah. Actually,
wiggling.
sorry, that's fair. I think it kind of ups up into the ceiling and back in the hallway. Probably it runs up and down, and you can follow the wire there. That makes plenty of. Because like. Yeah, so kind of heading back further into the base, you see it kind of goes into a couple different rooms, you see, then kind of comes back out, sometimes through the same one, sometimes through the other one. It seems a little random.
We've done all this work to find out that they're just moving around randomly.
Mm-hmm. No, it's I think both hitting generally deeper and whatever, but towards kind of a central, deeper kind of away from the shaft. And actually, I guess that's just it. Downward happens later. But like they do kind of in the back of the hallway run kind of downward the tubes, and you watch the copper wire go down that way. Yeah. But since that was a partial success, you do have to pick 2 of the things: being exposed to danger, losing your way. Losing, I think the other half of the group is fair in this situation, or taking a while. Yeah.
Might as well take a while. This is grad school, after all.
Your meticulous nature, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to kind of go into each of the rooms to see what's happening, really figure it out.
I feel like,
and therefore it gets ahead of you a bit. Go ahead.
I feel like 10 is exposed to danger. He's paying way too much attention to just like the drone itself and not really where he's going or what's happening.
Oh, for sure. Hey, there is one other thing that's kind of weird is like when you left that, well, I don't know how weird. When you left that room, like the lights immediately turned off and the hallway light turned on as soon as you left. And once everyone was out, those lights turned off. Basically, the lights are staying only on you.
Can I look for some sort of motion detecting device that would be responsible for that?
Yes, you can. That's one of them. Some sort of diffuse. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of lore-ish. It's just like lore. Yeah, improvised technology and remembered information, knowing what a motion detector looks like. That's fine.
Okay,
Has
so
that happened on past expeditions? Like
no,
the
definitely
first
not.
time we- Okay. That's weird.
Yes, this is explicitly new. Yeah,
okay, is
something
it?
about
Sorry, you said it's a diffuse with lore. Is that?
that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay. Whew. That is all the
Right, an 11. Very good. Yeah. What were you trying to do? Oh, right.
I was looking for
find...
like the little square thing on the wall in a room that has the motion detector.
No, that's but you rolled real good, so I would it seems that's not the only of those little bots, and their job is largely watching you, even though they are also staying out of sight mostly. So the one you wrangled isn't like the only one. That is your best guess as to at least the source of kind of the motion detection side of that. That's how, like, whatever system's doing the lights, but of course they are directly hooked into anything, so there's probably a Wi-Fi component. That doesn't like shock anyone either now that I say it out loud, but yeah.
I report all of those things to Lissa.
What is it? Wireless electricity? Because that would be cool.
Oh, it would be cool, wouldn't it? How would you go about finding out?
Something Tesla.
Probably just wave a fluorescent light bulb around. Do you have a fluorescent on you?
Yeah. Oh, doesn't everybody?
No.
Just wait till I have a good
Maybe,
idea
actually,
and
one
then
of
grab
these
the
is-
cartoon light bulb above my head.
Hold on.
If there
You
are
have to do that in
fluorescent light
California,
bulbs,
so it's a CFC.
if there are fluorescent light bulbs around, 10 has already like swung them around like a lightsaber and then eventually broken them on something.
Is that how you were exposed to danger?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a little vial of mercury inside of each one of them, and
Forgot about the danger. Well, I'm just gonna give you both harm. For this rough terrain is rough, and I think you both sustained some scrapes. What do you got?
I broke myself on this giant pile of broken fluorescent light bulbs that I found.
You fool! You shouldn't have messed with them light bulbs. Cool, excellent.
Remember, kids, don't play with light bulbs.
That's a good piece of advice, Sheryl, I guess.
Correct.
Yes.
You should give them all to me so that I can play with them.
Well, hang on. That's not great either.
I mean, it's good for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for the kids.
I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
There's power here, which is new. That's exciting, I assume. Maybe not. And the lights are tracking you by the robots.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. If you test it out, it's each individually too. Like when Rod and Tin wandered away from the group, like their set of lights kind of came with them, and your set stayed with you. So
It's not just going with the boss.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how these little robots would know who's the boss other than body language, but I don't know that they know that.
Well, they know eye contact, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you kind of find at the end of the hallway that it heads towards a downward area. I think there's a bank of kind of people-sized rather than equipment-sized elevator like the main one is. Yeah. They, of course, don't work and haven't worked for you don't even know how long. Probably multiple human lifetimes, though. So that's cool.
So it's a mechanical error? Like, the electricity works, but the elevator does not.
The electricity only just started working.
Well, maybe if it's following us, if we just hop in the elevator will start working.
Yeah.
Do you all group up by the elevator? Do you, like, kind of catch up by the... Because I imagine Tin and Rod had already ended up down there ahead of the two of you who...
That feels like a what's the marching order question.
Yeah. Hey, boss, we found an elevator down here, but it doesn't look like it's working.
Have you tried it?
No, should we try it?
Sure.
Okay.
You press the button.
Yeah. 10 gets on the elevator and looks for a button. I don't know if Rod is also getting in the elevator.
No, it's not.
It's the
doors.
Closed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
First, he phases through the doors.
In the past.
Yeah, I push a button. I push all the buttons.
There's probably only one, given I think this is a 2-stop elevator. And this is the up stop. The other one is down. And in both cases, there you only need one button. Anyhow, surprisingly, there's a ding. And you hear machinery whirring to life, as so often it does in this game, and so many others. Boom, boom.
When the elevator doors open.
Don't fucking steal my moment ever again, or I will kill you.
Jareth made a sound effect and everything.
An identical clone of Tin walks out.
No? Maybe. Elevator!
Whoever presses the button gets cloned. It's very advanced technology.
That would be advanced technology. I wouldn't care for it.
Then you could watch me fight myself to the death.
Could, but won't.
Okay. So wait, the elevator opens?
Yeah. Do you want to go in it?
What does the inside of the elevator look like?
Dusty, cobwebby, certainly. But mirrored, it looks... I mean, even your modern elevator user, I think, would recognize it doesn't look all that different from any of that. I think your elevator is deliberately a bit elegant, the one at like the main settlement, which we should name at some point. We'll do that later. I forgot.
How can you have an elevator without an elevator operator is the real question.
That is a good question. You have no idea. You're going to have to figure this stuff out on your own. I think, actually, since you're doing secret missions, one of you is probably implanted with the elevator operators. So, who is it? Any of you three, quick, raise a hand. All right, there it is, Peter. Excellent. Good work. So that's probably how you knew how to press the down button?
Yeah, it's also how I knew it was an elevator, because before it opened, it was just a pair of double doors, but I was like, this looks like an elevator because there's a button.
This in the sacred text.
Yeah.
Sacred
That's
text.
true, you do have...
Operators manuals.
10 steps into the elevator and immediately starts jumping up and down to, like, test...
It has like a last inspected date that does not set your mind at ease.
Wait.
Do you?
You mean like doesn't set your mind at ease as in like it had been outrageously long ago, even on the day the sun went out?
No.
Or does it not set our mind at ease because it's very recent?
It's like 2 days ago, yeah. Last inspected by Jimmy the elevator inspector.
Jimmy.
They're very dedicated to their jobs.
3 days hence.
Oh, in the future.
In the corner.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
This elevator will be inspected in 3 days.
That had been inspected.
By Jimmy the elevator
whatever.
crash inspector.
So are you jumping in it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I get inside of it and I'm jumping up and down to like test the springs and the shocks and things like that. Because it's standard elevator operator tribe procedure to test an elevator that way.
Okay. Yeah, make that up for my NPCs, why don't you? Maybe your faction.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm fine. I'm into it.
It's what they told me, at least. You know, I
think it was a hazy ritual.
I was going to say, make them
Remember?
an idiot, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we lost a lot of elevator operators early in
But also, there aren't that many new ones either. It's mostly the big central one that gives them their importance. It's not like, you're building 18-story things in these caverns. It's usually easier to just like build another, 1-story thing the next cavern over than it is to really try and... I mean, you've got enough structural integrity. I assume Xander's thing is kind of towerish just because it's Bowerbirdsy. But
yeah, but they're hardcore and use stairs.
No, for sure.
Good exercise.
Even then,
Yeah.
you could install an elevator and just be like a 3-story one, so it doesn't come up often. Anyhow, I guess it works. Yeah, you find, hopefully not to your surprise, because if you were expecting it to fall, then I don't know what's happening, but it holds up under your bouncing. You feel like confident in its elevator abilities with your elevator expertise that I'm now giving you. Congratulations.
How's the suspension on that?
Seems good.
Super.
Yeah.
Do you want to try it out on your own first?
Yeah.
Is there
Nick?
more buttons inside?
No, but the door starts to close. Do you stay in?
Yeah.
In the elevator.
But
You do?
Yeah, I stay at.
All right.
I guess I haven't pressed any of the buttons yet, but I let the doors close.
No.
remember your training.
Okay. You feel it start to move, and I'm gonna ask what everyone else does before I find out how your thing goes.
I guess we're just waiting outside this elevator now.
So you
I look at
Just
Lissa.
like,
Should we do something?
does anyone press a button?
I think we've done
does
all we
anyone
can.
not press a
Wait
button?
for them to come back.
Okay, we're completely okay. No, that's fine. Tin, then, you find yourself in the downstairs corridor as the doors open up. A light. Uh-huh.
I have my pain box out. My finger ready to press the button.
Oh my god.
I like-
And a light turns on right in front of you. Compared to the upstairs corridor, which was very, like middle school, high school tiles. Kind of sometimes you see stuff like just fairly straightforward, simple construction. This is like stainless steel. It's all very sterile, but also it looked. Materials you haven't even thought of that, because that way I don't have to. I'm a great DM. Kind of open up, and it has like intricate, kind of almost circuit boardy looking etching into it. It's definitely some of it gold, just because A, that looks cool, but B, like that conducts electricity good, and you assume that's important. Actually, I assume that's important. The light in front of you, it looks more high tech. That's really the major thing that I'm trying to communicate here. You step out in, you don't immediately see anything like animally. I think you can probably, at this point, you're used to spotting these little camera drones, and you do. From the time you were in the elevator, your expertise on the issue, you probably went down about 100 meters, so that's a fairly long ride. But it definitely to your left, where the wall, back of the wall is. Sorry, I shouldn't have said left, because now on the same side the back of that corridor is it. The corridor matches the corridor upstairs. It has the same back. Okay, here we go. There's tubes. The coil does, copper coil you were looking for does come out. The tubes end though. You see like 3 sets of kind of holes that like clearly correspond in diameter. 3. Let's make it 8. Just to. Powers of 2 just makes sense to me for this application anyways. It seems both deliberate and abrupt. It doesn't seem to be feeding into any sort of pneumatic system down here, is I think the interesting takeaway for you.
So there's a bank of 8 hole openings in the tube system, and the copper wires coming out of one of them.
Yeah, kind of at the top of the ceiling, top of the wall right near the ceiling, sorry. Kind of spanning about the width of the corridor are 8 holes, and let's say I've got a dice right here for the fourth one is the one the copper wire is coming out of. It's a D4, so like we only had half of them as options. I have a D8, but it's in the bag, and I'm not. Anyhow.
So I'm gonna step back onto the elevator and ride it back up.
Oh, are you?
I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step back into the elevator and hopefully ride it back up.
What's your plan to ride it back up?
Is there a button inside the elevator?
There is.
Okay, I press the button.
Just the one, because it's even though most your modern elevator whatever has has a button per floor. Anyhow, okay. Pushing the button does get you back up. You guys have waited. I don't probably at this point 2-ish minutes. Just like, boy, I hope he's not dead. You're all skeletons.
No. That's terrible.
I appreciate that you would have all waited for me. You would have all sat there and starved to death waiting for me rather than
Are you
just
guys
being like,
hungry? Now let's keep waiting.
Grad students are irreplaceable. Everyone knows that.
All right. We had really awkward small talk for like.
Oh yeah.
So, what's your specialty? That sounds so boring.
So the doors open at the top, and I'm like,
yes.
There's like a whole bunch of fancy looking high tech stuff down there. Come on.
I whip out my radio rig.
Oh. All right.
I take out my remote control for my hot rod.
What?
I don't know. I don't have a cool thing.
Remote
I put
control
on my
is like an
driving
RC
gloves.
car.
Yeah.
I put on my driving gloves. Let's do this.
All right. It looks so cool. Yeah. All right. Then you all pile in. Are you pressing the button?
Wait, but did we test it by jumping with multiple people? I say we should all give it a jump test.
Is it one of those elevators where like it's just barely big enough for us to do the like arms tight against our sides, not look at one another, not touch one another?
Is there really tedious classical music playing?
We're doing that thing where you're like, it's really awkward to make eye contact because you're really close to each other.
Yeah.
You're just like staring at the ceiling.
No.
How was your weekend?
No, you guys didn't hear what they were singing just now. No!
I haven't even seen that movie.
Wait, really? Oh my gosh.
I haven't seen it either.
I took a film class in which we were supposed to watch it, and I skipped that week to go on a date in Central Park, and you know what? I don't regret it.
I mean...
Seems fair.
Yeah, it sounds like you made a good choice, but still, like...
It's whatever. I probably should, but especially, like,
Meh.
As a space person. But it's whatever.
You're a space person? I didn't know that.
Alright, we're getting distracted here. Actually, this seems the elevator with the whatever girl from Ipanema playing. It's not playing. There's no music. Seems like a solid spot to grab a bio break if people are feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
A bit, and we can kind of do the it's around the time, and we're gonna kind of get a nice big scene transition. So let's do it.
Sure. Thanks to War Yoshi and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Keegan Bowers for hanging out in the chat. We appreciate you. We're glad you're here.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
We're gonna go on a quick bio break. You can do the same, and we'll be back soon. Soon. And we're back, and I have to change the nameplates because things happen. But we're back. Hello, everyone.
We're back.
We're back.
Hi, we were just opening some cool elevator doors. Maybe there's some mist. There wasn't the first time we did it. This isn't like having meaning. It's just for cinematic effect. I want to be clear. But yeah, there's a little bit of mist as the elevator doors open now with all 4 of you aboard. Again, cinematic only.
10 points it out anyways. Guys, there was not mist last time. I swear.
Wow, way to ruin the kayfabe. All right. No, but yeah, it's you kind of oh god, so it was kind of this kind of fancy hallway, largely stainless steel. The walls and ceilings, I think not the floor, have kind of gold circuit looking inlay in them a lot. Definitely scratched up a little, but it's definitely in much nicer condition than you would have expected from the millennia of neglect you feel this place ought to have had given both your previous inability to get in here and the millennia that nobody was going anywhere. Boy. Huh. Anyhow, not to get too on the nose, but yeah, the doors open up to this cool hallway. What do? There is a set of pneumatic tubes off, I'm picturing to the left, but at the end of the corridor is the more important sense, out of which the 4th one is coming copper wire. I think it goes down the hallway a little bit, but looks like it got snipped. There's a very clean cut and no drone at that point.
Did it leave tiny little bloody footprints?
What blood?
Huh? From Rod's hand.
Oh! No, that was a different one, I think.
Right.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Well,
That is a good catch. Yeah, the one he didn't
Never
catch,
mind.
I think.
The one that got away.
Because, yeah. Any sort of scratches you sustained from this one were trivial. Because I didn't make anyone take harm.
The one that got away, it always gets bigger when I tell the story.
Oh boy.
The 7-foot drone.
Oh.
Is it still a drone if it's 7 feet tall? Drone implies small, right? Or does it not?
I feel like drone
Maybe.
to me implies like autonomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would still call an autonomous helicopter a drone.
Yeah, because the drones,
Yeah.
the drones that the United States sends over to the Middle East are definitely not small, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
They're big.
Well, look at that. I
Those are
learned
like
something new.
helicopters.
Mm.
Imperialism. Okay. Well, speaking of imperialism.
Oh, hey.
a
And the government.
And the government. No, the government's not involved in this. It's just the institute.
Oh no, I thought this was a government research facility.
Oh yeah,
in
this
the
is
before
secret
times, right?
Military
Shit, you're
research.
right.
Oh
facility.
well, I mean,
No, you're right.
you know,
You're right.
it's-
You're right. Yeah. Whoa.
It could be. Could be it's secret even from its own government. Black site.
ooh.
Double black site. All right. What are we doing?
Wow.
What are you
Is that
doing?
a skiing?
I've given you a situation. Tell me what happens, or I'll do something to you.
Well, boss.
All right, the hallway and then doors at the end. That's what we got.
So yeah, I think there are the doors here are both much nicer than the ones upstairs. I think all of them have at least kind of a bulkhead sort of thing for ceiling. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, but they're kind of more sparse upstairs. I think the labs were 20 to 30 feet long, whereas kind of down here you definitely see 50 to 100 feet between pairs of doors, which mostly that's new on this. The upstairs quarter only had doors on one side. Here they're on both sides, but and the corridor kind of goes off only in one direction, into something fairly hallway looking, but at that point we're certainly straighting the edge of vision, I think.
Sorry.
Maybe not.
Did you say whether the lights were doing the thing down here too?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
light turns on in front of you. If you start moving, you do find that they are likewise turning off almost immediately behind you and turning on just in front of you. And if you like turn around, then they're following you. The lights are following you. You can definitely spot robots that are making it happen too, but of course they always shy away from your line of vision if you look at them too long.
I feel like we're in a movie.
Hey. No, thanks. I hope so. That's what I'm trying to do here.
There's actually super reminiscent of an underground tunnel at my undergrad that I used to have to go through to get to the library from my lab.
What?
Yeah.
What?
There were tunnels?
Yeah,
We had secret tunnels underneath the library, connecting the library and the physics building.
Yeah.
You
It was,
could go from. It was
You
great.
could go from like the basement of the biomedical engineering building into the plant sciences building because you couldn't take like biological samples outside. So they built a tunnel.
Oh.
And the way the lighting
Yeah.
system worked was that like the lights turned on based on motion activation. So when it was like 11 o'clock at night and you're going to the
Yeah.
library after being in lab,
Oh man, that does sound
Amazing.
upsetting. I wouldn't
Vanessa
be
and I have
happy.
a secret tunnel story too. We got escorted through a secret tunnel at a government facility on Iowa State University because we were exploring one of the buildings. Because someone told us that there was a secret tunnel down there, and we found it, but we
Oh,
weren't supposed to be
no.
there because we weren't government employees. So then we got escorted through the tunnel back to the other side, and then told to go away. But
You got
I
to see
think
it at
what
least.
was to like stop going on the roof because you were definitely were not supposed to be on the roof.
Did a lot of things I
Renegades.
wasn't supposed to do, but here we are. Are you guys doing anything, or is the elevator
What are we
monster
doing,
going?
boss?
Rod panics and
Elevator
stares at his
monster.
hands.
Yeah, wait,
What?
what is the elevator?
I'm only going to invent it if you keep dawdling.
Oh, this is like the gazebo.
Like you're still walking away.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I guess we walk up to the doors, like
No, that's
they say push or pull.
Whatever they say, I do the opposite.
Some things never change.
they open in. They're designed to open inward, but
I thought you were going to
have
say
these
diagonally
heavy-
there.
Yes,
they open diagonally.
diagonally. That sucks. I don't want that.
So hard to open.
That sucks so hard. We're not doing that. No, I'm picturing kind of that they all have like these giant metal wheels on them to kind of disengage kind of locking mechanisms and whatnot. You've all seen like bulkheads of like movies and whatnot. And so they kind of open inwards. You'd have to turn them, but yeah. So do you want to like try the first one you come to, or do
Is
you
there
like
any signage, anything that like tells us what the door?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Ooh, does my do I have to do something to use my thing?
Oh.
I don't know
You
why.
probably
I'm
have to
holding up
say
my
that
hand
you're
like
using it.
Well,
No,
I
yeah,
said
for
that I
sure.
had pulled it out when we.
But yeah, exactly.
So I wasn't sure if it's just like on
let's-
and doing its thing, or if I have to do something.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. Cheryl's character, whose name was
Kina.
Kina, thank you. So true.
You know what?
Grabs out her cool. Where's the inherited thing? I just need to read the text. Radio rig, there it is. You can sense when tech is within a mile and track it down to within 100 meters. I think that's fair to say you find among this set of doors. I think you can narrow it down to probably one of two that has, because you've been kind of following, has some sort of drone-related interesting thing.
These doors seem
actually-
promising.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it one because otherwise, why?
All right, this door seems promising.
You've narrowed it down to this one door. Let's go through this door.
Not
Alright,
another door. Oh no.
So
What if there's a
who-
door behind the door? What will we do?
Who grabs the thing? Or
I'll
just-
grab the
Oh
thing.
no.
The spinny thing.
Okay, thank God. You guys, your characters don't even count. Please don't worry this much about them. They can die, it's fine, and hopefully they won't, but they might.
Roll something.
So,
Wow.
no, I'm not. You don't have to roll to open the door. In fact, the second you touch the wheel to start to open it, it twists it on its own, kind of faster than like you were pushing, so it kind of rips itself.
Hopefully I let go, otherwise my arms just tie themselves into a knot.
Like in a cartoon.
I assume, yeah. I'm not like this isn't harm or anything. It's just like it handles its own shit. And you kind of again, this one does have a like nice whooshing sound. I think is fair because there's a bit of a pressure difference. That makes sense. But what's interesting about this room is you remember like that scene in Spirited Away where she walks in on the soot sprites and they just fucking bolt.
I love
You
them.
see so many drones. You see so many little camera drones just all like can go for the rafters, try to cram like a bit too fast. And this room has, I think, a ventilation system rather than pneumatics is, I think, what they use down here. Kind of more modern seeming, although again this has a very semi-futuristic abandoned semi-futuristic look to it, but they are just like bolting the second the door opens and the light from the hallway spills in, and then kind of as they almost entirely empty out, only then does the light in the room turn on. Your turn.
I squeal in delight and like squat down to try to see if I can like coax one out from under something.
Right.
Actually, those ones
yeah.
like
Huh?
capture one. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll look to see if the one with the wire wrapped around it, if there's any evidence of it being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say there's definitely still a couple in the room, kind of keeping an eye on you guys. And what the hell? This one seems to have a little bit of oh my god, I'm gonna of kind of interest in Kina and a bit less shyness for her than previously. So I think why don't we have you do a Sheryl, but give me a lore roll to try and diffuse the situation and coax one of these into some form of capture.
A lore roll. Doing the thing.
Oh shit!
Yes,
You got a
it
12,
really likes
which
me.
is a total success.
I have a pet
It
now.
loves you. You have a pet now. I think that the thing that happens out of 10 is just nothing bad. So excellent, good work. The situation is safe. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I think that's fair. So yeah, you can actually, Jordan, why don't you give me the unleash power roll, because like you're the character here, everyone else is just like mini characters.
Okay. What is that again?
That is lore again. Oh
Okay.
gosh. And we'll see kind of.
What do
Okay,
you
partial
even have
success.
Oh, it's
Water.
it's a dung beetle that another member of
Oh.
Weekly BDU sent me when
Oh
I
gosh.
finished my master's. But if you turn it like this so you can't see the poop, it looks like a little drone.
Nice. Nice.
Wow. Sure. That's so on brand.
It was a gift. Thanks, AJ.
Aw. So you got a partial success on the unleash power roll. When you find a device, I mean, it's a camera robot. It says I give you a few clues about what it can do, but I feel like that's been this session. I don't mean to be rude. And when you use it, oh, you just have it. All right. I feel like there was one for uncovering a device that wasn't the same as the one to use it. No, that's forgotten lore, and that's not quite the same. Sorry, we're learning the rules still. Okay, yeah, you have a little drone. Yeah. Do you want to get out of here with it? I will say, just kind of again, this place is irradiated, and you don't necessarily want to spend too long here. You certainly can keep poking, but I think that's starting to not become a concern just yet. But you want to keep it in your minds.
We're all wearing like little Geiger counters, right? Like have
Oh,
they?
for sure. Yeah.
Have they like gone up in frequency since we've come into this new, different looking area?
I was figuring dosometer is the actual thing.
Blah 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 blah. Everybody,
enough,
everybody knew what I meant.
Does a dosometer actually show you the rate, or does it just show you the total that you've been exposed to, though?
It's a total
like I
that
need
you've
to
been exposed to.
Yeah.
Like
but
it's-
it's for.
I got my little magic box.
You probably have a Geiger counter with you because like expeditions here would, but that's a different piece that you don't wear.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sorry,
fine.
I didn't mean to try and shoot down your shit. I just
No. You're good.
happened
You're
to-
good.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine. You just wanted to actually me. I get
Exactly.
it.
I just wanted to demonstrate
I was told that was
I'm
the point
better
of
than
our
you
show
because of the
earlier.
things that I know. And the things that you specifically do not. No, that's not it. So yeah, Jordan, you're the PI. You have a cool new device, which is this drone. I think it's friendly with your grad student and therefore to all extents and purposes under your control for at least to bring back to,
Maybe you'll even let her be an author on the paper about it.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
boy.
she has control of it as long as she keeps control of the grad student, right? Like,
Don't, yeah, but
It
like,
gets the acknowledgments.
oh, thank you,
yeah,
so kind, so generous.
That's when the
Yeah.
passive voice really comes into handy in the
Oh,
methods,
man.
where you're just like, the drone was obtained
Yeah.
at the facility.
Yep. Mhm.
through methods.
It's a murder bot, and this is its strategy to get back to civilization.
But yeah, PI, you got yourself a cool drone. Are you good here? Do you want to keep poking? Is the question.
Look into its mechanical eyes and see if it has murder in its heart.
What else is in this room?
I didn't really.
Oh yeah, was it just like a barren floor with drones on?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I was roughly thinking.
their party room?
that- yes, but there.
Little party
Yes.
hats on all of them. Yes.
And
Is it
not a
disco
party
ball?
room as such.
Yeah,
but,
the lights here are like rave lights.
There's like. You see a mirrored one just like hanging on the ceiling.
A mirrored drone.
Yes.
That's the queen.
And-
There's
instead
like
of, like,
some
they're
drones
mostly-
that one are like,
They're all just having a cool time. I mean, you do get the sense that this is like there's little bits of scraps here and there, but kind of it seems like whatever was here was like disassembled by them to make a cool rec room.
by who?
The drones, probably, or at least something kind of connected.
So
But, like,
sorry.
That it's kind of scrapped in like insulation, a little nest-like in some spots. Go ahead, Peter.
The drone that we've captured, it's different than the drone that we captured before, right? That Xander captured before? Or is it the
Do you
same?
want it to be? Tell me.
You mean
I
like
was thinking the
different
same one.
individuals, or?
I was thinking different model,
Oh.
right? But maybe
I was
not.
thinking it was the same one because Xander tagged it and released it
Gotcha.
after Rod and
Oh, right, Rod.
Kina after Kina kind of
Naturalist is the
befriended it.
humane way to do it.
And
Yeah.
exactly. So now it's kind of like hanging out with Kina, who
Didn't tie a
befriended it.
piece of wire around it, and shove it into a tube.
Yeah. No, it felt okay about that. I don't think that really. I mean, I certainly didn't stay with you guys after that, but it does seem specifically slightly more friendly towards humans than the other ones, especially after Sheryl rolled really good to like coax it out. So now it's very friendly with her.
So you said the hallway that led to this room had doors on both sides of the hallway. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we didn't open any of them.
Yep. But Sheryl, kind of with her advanced technology dowsing rod, this
led
was
us
the
straight
coolest
here.
one. Like, yeah,
Right.
I kind of skipped over them more on a narrative basis than a, whatever. But like there is a kind of big hallway at the end mirroring the big one above, and you haven't really poked into that. You can definitely see it pretty clearly now. It's dark, but like it's all kind of chromy and therefore reflective enough. You can kind of, including the big hallway, is much more chromy than the upstairs, which is just like a big elevator in a mine, and so it's like Earth in the big hallway. But you kind of feel reasonably confident that these rooms don't contain anything else of interest because I said so.
Okay.
Narrative fiat, baby. Please behave yourself. That's fine. You tell. I don't know if I can hear that.
Well, boss, I'm fairly certain these rooms don't contain anything of narrative interest.
Thanks.
Fourth wall.
What fourth
No,
wall?
I did that to myself. That's
I know. Wait, are there people in here?
oh gosh. I broke the game.
Do you want us to keep looking?
I mean, I kind of want to go further down this hallway, but I also feel like we've been here too long, like radiation-wise.
I mean, I feel fine.
Well,
You don't. Like, you're not dying, but you don't feel fine.
Ooh.
That's some Arrested Development Ron Howard type narration.
You don't.
He did not.
You did not.
Dear reader.
oh man, I'm gonna go watch some more Development after this. Actually,
I still
yeah.
gotta finish the season 5 of She-Ra. That's we're not there.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I didn't,
Same
it's up to
Z's,
Netflix
same Z's.
seasons, but I didn't watch that. Anyway,
It's very good.
We're going to talk about She-Ra after this. Okay.
I guess that's what I should watch after Avatar is over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
King.
everybody should watch She-Ra. Yeah, we're going to end early
though.
actually tonight.
No,
so that every
no. Now.
I'm just going to
You
live
fit in
stream
3
She-Ra.
episodes. No, I'm sorry. Jordan, please say something. I'm so sorry.
So if we're hitting our limits on like radioactivity, then I'd say it's probably time to peace. Because like us dying in here doesn't. Well, I guess.
They're grad students.
Well, me dying in here.
You die. Exactly. You don't need that sort of
Just
heat.
pushes us out of the way and gets in the elevator.
Plus, it is a lot of paperwork to replace one.
That's
Oh.
true.
That's very true.
Then you
No,
got to
that's
find
fair.
somebody
And
else
I
to
think-
write up all that data.
Likewise, I don't think
Yeah.
we'll hold on to these grad student characters because it doesn't sound like you're done here, and that's cool. I want to keep on exploring what's happening in here. But it, yeah, I don't think any of the kind of stuff back, like, for whatever reason, the elevator does seem very attentive to your needs. That's good, but it's also weird. The lights are too. But kind of your way out is fairly uninhibited. I don't think we need to roll to get you back. That feels like just adding, time rather than interest. So let's kind of go and zoom out, see what everyone else was doing. Keep track of all these cool quick characters because you're going to be them again, probably. And I need to find the changing scale page. Here we go, because everybody else gets to say what they were doing, which we kind of went over a little bit, but now you get cool rewards from it, Which, yeah, okay, cool. At all. So if you're all looking at the zoom out, we kind of look at everyone who wasn't in that scene, so everyone but Jordan. You can change your role, your character's role. You can add tech to your family's stock. You get data and some information about surplus or need. You can get a treaty on any faction by having helped them out, or discovering a new danger and saying who it's aimed at, which you can do if you're a monster. Any order, let's say, I don't know, Peter, you have a look on your face. Is that a contemplative one, or
I feel like I always have a look on my face.
that's?
I mean, you have to have a look on your face.
I concede the point.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, Charon immediately took back his samples to the rest of the shepherds. That was his whole thing.
We were kind of working towards. We gave you that. I know we kind of did some family moves and some roles about them, but like this is kind of a bit of a supplemental thing to that. So yeah, well, you were kind of moving up and doing your cool stuff. Charon in specific is go on.
So like we've kind of accessed these new caves closer to the surface. That was our big kind of push that was enabled by our new like cold hardy livestock. Maybe we've discovered a new threat. That sounds fun.
Ooh.
Like a new danger.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on it? Because I have some. Which is, I think, in particular, because you're using their DNA for your antifreeze bullshit, that your above ground testing bed is definitely. Or, well, go ahead, because you can actually aim it at people. It doesn't have to be aimed at you, but like, there's definitely some centipede drama. Who is it aimed at?
I like that.
Okay, cool.
Now,
I was into it, but like I did just reread the thing, and you get to say it, not me. So
no, I'm into that.
Okay.
Like so like because we were like
kind of picking using off your livestock.
Yeah, like the centipedes can like smell their own, and so like the fact that we've hybridized our livestock with centipedes, like they're maybe attracting the centipedes,
and maybe kind of in a hostile sort of way, like like a bad ant smell, sort of.
Yes. But wait, I can direct but I get to decide who the hostile. You do.
It actually says which other, so I don't think you can aim it at yourself.
Cool. Then I guess they're gonna go after the so maybe they're distracted by the elevator operators. Like they're going for. So like there are a couple of like insect species that are attracted to electrical.
That's true, and sharks signals are as well.
Right. So I'm feeling like we noticed the centipedes are coming like in, but like have gotten sidetracked and are now like the centipedes can't dig, but we've detected them in the caverns that we have that are close to the elevator operators, and they seem to be kind of like
the vibrations
into that. Like they're attracted to the
hang on.
yeah, no vibrations. Yeah, this is gonna end with me riding a giant centipede. Is the
I hope so, honestly. Like,
and I'm already riding a giant dung beetle. Yeah, so
we're working a natural our way up the phylogenetic tree. Sheryl, am I lying?
No.
All right.
I mean, I'm actually not an entomologist, but Peter is.
Didn't you study dung beetles?
Sort of. I am an ecologist who plays with insects because they're a great study system, but I am not an entomologist. I don't get get really into the weeds with the taxonomy, which was to my detriment because now I have to rerun all the analyses for my first manuscript because I included a species that I shouldn't have. Ecologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so standard with
Sorry.
entomology, like because insects are such good model systems, like you end up with so many people who are not entomologists studying insects. I mean, like Brian Lovett is a great example where like he's a grad student, he has a degree in entomology, but really he studies fungi, which are parasitic on insects,
Brian
and uses
Lovett.
fruit fly.
Gee, that's a name that you might be hearing on this show soon. Not on this show, on the other show that's on this channel.
What?
Anyway, moving on. Back to the centipedes
Yes,
in the
indeed.
elevator.
So yeah, okay, cool. Actually, I think we had roughly gotten to the entirety of that action. There's a new danger, and it's aimed at the elevator operators. Now
Sucks for them.
Wow.
It sucks to be them. It's cool though. They're very tough. Like they're Rainbow faction. You know what I mean?
Hot.
I guess. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm not. But like, whatever. You do what you gotta do. That's what I'm saying. Anyhow, so Sheryl or Xander can you get a reward for having played that grad student so well. Really is what I think it's trying to reward you for here.
Well, I think I had said something last time about the Ripples sending a team up to look because we're interested in whether or not there are bodies of water accessible up here.
Yeah.
And we've gotten some...
I do want...
Oop.
Sorry, just one other thing I wanted. When you change roles, you get a move, so it's not just changing roles if you're looking at that option. You can do your... I'm sorry, I just wanted to...
Oh, yeah.
Peter, if that affects what you might do, that's fair.
No,
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I was just going to say, yeah, that Islae would have led another group up to, I guess, the one that would fit best with what I said we did last time was scout for information.
Okay.
Because we were looking for, like I said, we were looking for like places where there might be bodies of water, and we had been told that there was a place where the water was starting, or that the ice was starting
melting
to thaw.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that gives us one data.
There.
Is that right?
One data, and yeah. And I think we talked about it as a need or surplus already.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, it's.
It was information that could get rid of a need, but we haven't actually gotten rid of it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Which might be the next thing.
Woo-hoo.
But I assume if you're trying to seize it, we'll get there. I already did a little. Anyhow, then the last one, Xander. Are you looking at the list? Do you want to pick one?
I actually wasn't able to find the list.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on page 78 of the handout sheet.
Oh, or 71 of the book.
Yeah.
Or the book.
The handout sheet is 78, and it's got zooming in and zooming out.
Can you just read the list to me?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or Sheryl, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you can go for it. That's your job.
No, too late. All right. So you can change your role, which also gives you a new move from your character playbook. You can go scavenging to add a tech. You can scout for info, which gives you a data and some info if, like, we haven't already discussed it like we did with Sheryl. You can help somebody out, gain a treaty, so on any family or faction. Or discover a new danger, which is what Peter did, and aimed it at my elevator operators.
I think getting new tech is probably a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially like you are kind of always your upside, like scavenging. That very much sounds like a thing your character does a lot of, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, gain a tech, which you can spend on a family move that does some stuff. I don't remember which one is tech, which one. Tech, I think you can kind of spend any time you want at the family level to give yourself an advantage. Yeah. So you can kind of get an advantage on any move by having tech. So that's cool. So let's see. Lissa comes back. You have a drone now. So you also get, I believe, a point of tech when you come back with a resource like that. Device, that was the word I was trying to remember. The official device word. But now you have a thing to study. Sorry, I'm looking at the family moves, kind of matching them up. So kind of what's interesting to various families now? I know you're kind of establishing actually there's been a series of rumors about I guess not rumors, reports from kind of the operators taking heavy damage to their supply convoys, patrols, etc. I don't know the terms for this kind of stuff, but that they're kind of taking losses to these giant centipedes. So that sucks for them. I don't know who's feeling helpful, if anyone. You don't have to. But that's kind of a new situation that's kind of been arising recently. I did also want to say there's been a month or so that there is a moon. I just realized that the first night I said everything was the same, and so it had to be a new moon the first couple of nights. Otherwise, I would have screwed up royally. But there's a moon.
Okay.
But that was me covering my tracks since we're all older and wiser now.
No worries. Now we know there's a moon.
Do we know what? Sorry. Do we know what
No.
the site of a massacre refers to on the map? Is that centipedes devouring elevator operators?
No,
Is that a
that's
different
kind of that was a sort of it's got a lot of frozen skeletons. It's very grim. It was the kind of people who couldn't fit in that sort of apocalyptic sense scenario. So that's kind of what I was picturing for it. So it's kind of a very grim, series of bones sticking out of the ice and what have you. It sucks.
Cool.
I assume it's been pretty well picked over too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, unless you're even the bones bit, just because again, bones have cool farming properties, right, Peter?
Yeah. Calcium.
Bone meals,
Yeah.
not just for Minecraft. Anyhow, in real life, it's much more horrifying.
Not just for
All right.
Minecraft.
Anyhow, aside from that grim work, what's I don't necessarily I have a few kind of things in mind in terms of stuff that could be happening, but kind of if you guys don't necessarily.
Well, so I guess what's the story here? Because we zoomed in on Lissa and work with the Institute, and we zoomed back out and gave all of us a prize for helping.
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
fair.
Is that do we have the option to zoom in on anybody else, or I'm not sure how the production works.
We definitely do. That's kind of. I, in fact, probably shouldn't have zoomed out till we figured that out. Now that I think about it, but it's fine. Who cares? Everything's everything. But yeah, if you kind of, I think zooming in is more kind of in response to a family level move, and we can kind of because in Lissa's case, she was doing these cool secret missions, and so we kind of were. Zooming in on the result of the elevator operator being a bit suspicious, and then we really focused on the actual expedition itself. But you kind of do a thing, and then we zoom in. So you were kind of, I think, grabbing with force or something like that. Whatever you were trying to grab that, take control of that. Boneyard sort of thing, right? I think is.
Who are you talking to?
Sheryl.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Definitely not me.
Yeah, I think I had made an attempt to use force or whatever the family
That's
level
right, and it was
is to grab the stuff from the
Claim by
beaching
force
event. The claim by force, the sea creature stranding event. But we did not succeed.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not. I mean, and we kind of already handled the effects of that move, anyways. But I mean, why don't you give me another grasp, anyways, and let's kind of that. So your first attempt was bad, but time has passed, and you've, I think, kept an interest in it. It's, I think, fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
So it's plus grasp.
Yeah,
Okay.
as the kind of claim by force. So you got a partial success. So now you can kind of, I think, let me circle it with your family's. You already. I'll give it a circle. But the first time, I think it was too cold, was my memory, and as such, you were having trouble extracting anything of value from the ice. Your blowtorches just were insufficient or whatever the hell. But kind of this time through, a bit more time has passed. Again, I think we're in an equatorial sort of region, and so the return of the sun is a real big influence on the ice level and temperature. And I think in the daytime now, a couple of months out from the event, that he kind of reaches in the negative 40s even. So yeah,
Balmy.
Awesome. So give me, I know, right? So you get to choose two of the consequences.
Right.
There's some costs or some commitments. Peter tied, for instance, his surplus to his cool resource.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I will also tie a surplus to the resource of this stranding event, because I think it's strategic to have access to the the things that are left over in this stranding event, as well as
That
the
makes
area.
sense to me.
So I'm going to tie my trade surplus to the resource, because it seems very logical.
Yeah.
I plan on trading the genetic material from these gooey dead sea creatures to the shepherds of the cave.
Well, also because it kind of flash froze a lot of them. There's real good blubber stores here.
It's like a TV dinner.
I brought that on myself. Let's move on.
And I will also say there's a cost to our victory. My family gets a need of the GM's choice.
Ooh, a need. Okay. That will bring your mood back to neutral.
Yep.
Which is cool, I guess. It's fine. I need to look at the needs section as always, every single time. Supplies and needs.
There's so many.
I know, right?
So many chooses.
I'm going to give you the need for fresh water. That makes sense to me. I think it kind of really, you are very hydrated, sort of full because of your fish phenotypes, right? I'm not making that up. You added some like fish DNA, didn't you?
No, I said we were not eldritch.
Okay, that's right. Sorry, but never mind then. Nonetheless, I think kind of the amount really have to commit a lot of your water resources towards this sort of expedition, because you're doing a lot more trips to the surface now, and you need to send. I think from a food perspective, you're okay, but fresh water is really tough to find.
It's all the water for the backpack tanks for the.
That's
octopuses.
Exactly it. It's the octopus tanks. Yes, thank you. They're freshwater octopus. You wouldn't want to.
Well, they're cave octopuses, and I assume the water in the caves was fresh. So yeah, Freshwater cave-topusses.
Probably.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. We'll add this on. So yeah, to take the need for fresh water, and I'll add that to my need thing as well. Fresh water.
Check.
I type less fast than I talk. That's true of basically everyone. I don't know what you want from me.
No, it's just funny how you stretched it out.
Do we want to pull together some? Grad students isn't quite what the fish people will be.
Fish people.
Fish people.
Fish people can go to grad school if they want.
Yeah.
That's true, but I don't think that generally speaking, the Ripples members are grad students. Like, I don't think that's the generic
We
unit
do apparently have the brightest mind of our age in our group, in our
That's
family,
true.
right? That was a thing.
That is
a story bit between the Institute and the Ripples. But yeah, you don't have to be grad students.
That's fair. Sorry, my cat's playing with the bouncy ball.
No, that's all right. Also, is this the sort of situation where like it's only my family, or like I said, since I wanted to perhaps negotiate with the shepherds on use of this resource, would this be an appropriate moment for Charon to also be coming? I don't know how this works.
I think so, yeah. I think that's fine. Not even fine. I think that's good. I think anytime you can bring, it doesn't have to be just one character, and certainly likewise.
Okay.
Well, if Charon wants to come on the field trip,
doesn't seem wild that.
Yeah, I think finding flash frozen sea creature DNA would be like the thing that Charon would be the most excited about. Yeah.
Then do we want to maybe do this as more of a full party expedition? It seems like something that
y'all want to come help us
might
out?
Do as a research thing, or maybe not. I know her focus is probably less on the bio end of things, and likewise, Ganymede is certainly one of the cooler protector guys to have around. So if you're in,
he's not so great with doors, but he's cool, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, he's tough as Xander.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if either of you two wanted to come to this set of whale bones sticking out of the ice, is how I've been picturing it this whole time, you're welcome. The elephant graveyard, but with whales. But also we could give you a quick character from probably the Ripples. I think are the people leading this expedition. Charon's coming along because he makes sense. All right,
So-
I mean, I guess, does it make sense for Ganymede to come along?
I think so. He's like one of the better scouts in the city.
He is a scout.
One of.
Doesn't he
Yeah,
have
fair
like
enough.
the wanderlust? Isn't he just
Yeah.
like always
True.
raring
Yeah,
to
You
go?
tries
can say
to
you
get
go up to
on-
the surface as much as you can.
Any excuse
Exactly.
to go up to the surface.
Perfect.
Come along,
I
friend.
mean, I think you're a significant player in this society. That's why your character is interesting.
Sure.
And I don't
I'll
know
have Ganymede tag along then.
if the Institute necessarily would, but otherwise we'll make you a character. But
You're the octopus.
Jordan, do you want to be an octopus?
If we were the grad students and they were the followers, and if the octopus is the follower,
It's the easiest.
then logically,
Let's let Jordan.
vis-a-vis. Is that how that's pronounced?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's how the French say it.
So cold, so cold.
Oh. All right. Sweet. Let's do it.
What's happening?
So elevator clinks, clink. Everyone's coming
Oh,
along.
okay. Woo!
Full party
Yay!
expedition. We got to gear up. Let's
Band's
zoom
back
in.
together, guys.
Man, I just zoomed you all out. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's fine. Actually, that since everyone's in this scene now, it does make sense that we zoomed out and then back in. So that's great. I did that intentionally.
Woo!
So let's look back at the zoom in, which is gear is mostly the important thing. So step one is the main character's presence, say what they're there to do. I know Sheryl is claiming a resource. Charon Islae is trying to claim the resource. Charon's investigating for trading purposes. I imagine Lissa is just kind of there research-ish.
Yeah, I mean, I think even though we have the one bot, we still want to know, like...
Oh, yeah. There's so much to know. Yeah. And, like, it's your job to know things.
It's a big, wide, beautiful world.
Yeah, right? And then Ganymede's kind of satisfying the wanderlust as well as is, like, just a guy who knows his way around up here. So let's zoom back in. Let's, I think, get the gear according to your assets. So we've already, I think, Lissa, unless you want to swap out. Actually, I guess you probably do, don't you? Because you can make your grad students up to 3 again. Otherwise, they're only quality 2. Or you can add a tag back or whatever.
Can she have our characters as grad students? Sorry.
Huh?
Can she have, like, the 3 of us?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're definitely there. They obviously take a bit more of a background now that they're not, the main whatever. But absolutely, those are her 3 like primary grad students for at least the rest of this age.
Nice.
I have to imagine as time goes on.
Forever a grad student.
So I just have to
move on to postdocs.
God.
Well, anyhow, yeah. So, let's see. So you had the 2 tags. They were morale, which you used to boost your grad students. Do you want to do that again? And then the engineering, you made your grenades weirder. I don't remember the tag, but
yeah, that was what I did.
Do you want to do that again? Do you want to do something different?
I think I'll stick with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Then you have all the same gear, which is very convenient. And in fact, Sheryl, Islae, last time... Oh, you have actually a new surplus, so you get more tags even.
Oh, I do. Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
You had morale, scouts, and now you have trade.
Right.
And I don't quite remember what you did with those the first time. So what are you doing with them this time?
The scouts surplus was used to bump the quality of my backpack to puss.
Yeah, your octopus.
My backpack octopus is a quality 2, so it's only 1 less quality than the grad students. I used...
Oh, wait, hang on.
What?
Sorry. That was what we did with Jordan's thing, was both of them were to make the grad students really good. And we didn't add anything to the grenades. Do you want to do the really good grad students or the good grad students and cooler grenades? Was the 2 setups we've had on you so far, Jordan. Sorry. Cooler grenades. Excellent.
So I guess these are different grad students then.
Yeah, right. No, they're just, I mean, it represents, I think, some sort of cohort, and I think it's a smaller portion of the cohort, or they're allowed to bring fewer pencils along. Anyhow,
they're all just having a bad day. There's a grant day.
A bad day, exactly. It's just a rough day up here. So yeah, sorry, Sheryl, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
I just remembered.
No, it's all right. So I used scouts to bump up the quality of my backpack to puss, and I used morale to add the tag many to my fishing spear so that I have more than 1.
That makes sense.
And I think because now we have a surplus of trade, we're starting to get stronger relationships with some of the other factions. So I would like to add the tag tough to my grappling rig so that maybe we've improved the quality of our grappling rig devices such that they're just a little They're a little more sturdy, so tough makes it more resilient against physical impact, which I imagine like that's kind of what the grappling rig is for. So
we had those as kind of like Pokeball nets, is what I remember, right?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm into it. So yeah, you kind of get an upgrade to the fibers that they're woven out of from your cool trade surplus. Excellent. Moving right along, Peter, I guess.
I don't think I changed anything. I mean, I think I'm keeping. Well, I mean,
yeah, I think you're right. You had crops and medicine, and we added those as kind of tags to your, just kind of general preparedness tags to your mount, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, medical for your. Doesn't matter. That's fine.
Yeah,
cool.
I can draw on surgeons as my expertise. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the Bowerbirds now have medicine, in addition to their defenses and weapons. So you have to make some sort of decision.
Say that again. Sorry.
You have to make some sort of decision on what to do with your resources. If you kept it the same, you wouldn't have to. But it's the same set of tags. You have, defenses, weapons, and medicine. I think you also added a many tag, or no, you already had that.
He had many knives.
Please tell us.
Did I add many? No.
Yes, because the quote from last episode was, "But what they don't know is, like a porcupine, I have many knives." I have that written down.
I know I added hardened to my armor.
Okay, yeah. We added.
Is there a tag I add for medicine specifically?
Oh yeah. I think.
Can I stab someone with my assassination blade and they feel better?
Probably not. If you wanted to add, say, poisoned for, I think that would kind of correspond.
I like that idea. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna go with that.
All right. I'm kind of into it. I don't necessarily know how or when that'll come up, but now that we've put it on, it will. That's kind of the beauty of this system, as it were. Yeah. Poisoned is not an option, but it probably corresponds to, there we go, aberrant or whatever. We'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. Cool. That's everyone. So we click. The elevator brings you all up to the surface.
Are there any centipedes in the elevator?
No, but there's, as you guys were getting in, you saw a pair of elevator operators hauling just like a gigantic centipede corpse off of the elevator as a trophy.
That's comforting.
They were bringing it over to the shepherds.
Yeah, we'll butcher that thing up for you real good.
Exactly, yeah.
A lot of good meat on one of those things. Plus the glands, yeah.
Don't say glands.
We don't want to hear about the glands.
Don't say glands. Oh, God. And
at least it's gland with a D. Not glands.
True. We could.
Which is a different body part.
I think this is why I became an engineer.
Because biology is gross.
Yes. That's why I'm a physicist.
I couldn't handle biology because I don't have the manual dexterity for the tiny little instruments. I broke a lot of glassware in my day.
How sad.
That's half the fun.
So let's start this off with some wasteland survival. Peter, you had Charon had a talent if he wants to use it, but Islae is kind of in charge if she wants to.
What was your thingy again? How does that work?
Mine is when I travel a route I've used before, and I have not come this way before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, then I guess it's me.
Well, I mean, the other advantage is that now you'll be using this route.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's Wasteland Survival plus Steel. Hey, that's like my best thing.
Nice.
Do I get anything for having like been here once before?
Let me look at the move. I don't think so. Unless, are you trying to argue for advantage? I think I can do that. Yeah. You know how to get here.
I argue subtly
give
for
you that.
advantage.
No, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair question, and I think,
super
yes.
success.
Oh, goddamn, yeah, that's
A
14.
14.
Holy
14,
crap.
too bad.
You just like blink and we're there.
That's very, I mean, you still, a bad thing happens.
Oh, no, really?
Okay, I've got it. Well, actually, no, you pick between losing something, someone getting hurt,
Yeah.
or an obstacle or threat blocking your way back.
Let's do that one.
Let's see.
Let's have some sort of excitement on the way back. And I also get to pick a fun thing. Man. Secret path sounds cool, but also discovering a secret sounds cool.
I mean, a secret path would mean you can get here all the time.
Yeah, I feel like this is a place we want to get back to a lot.
Like a
So
spot, yeah.
a secret path we can take to take this route again without triggering the Wasteland survival move. That would be cool.
I'm gonna draw a line.
Oh, now there's a line connecting us to the thingy.
There's a line on the map. That's your path. That's my path marker.
Amazing.
So yeah, there's wow, good. And you picked which one? Sorry. Okay, an obstacle on the way back.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, don't worry about it just yet.
Cool. I will not.
How much rhythm would you say you? Never mind. Sorry.
How much what? Rhythm?
Rhythm would you say you walk with? That's a doom. That's not. I'm not actually asking that.
Yeah.
That's related to this part of the adventure. You kind of. It's still very. It's icy and kind of we established like ice sand sort of as the dominant. Like this kind of granulated ice that's been worn down by lower winds, certainly, but not no wind. Thanks to the Cowlick theorem. Hey, math helps sometimes. So you kind of see the first sign of this whale graveyard. I want to change it to whale graveyard, if I'm being honest. Sea creature standing sounds so generic. Whereas whale graveyard really is something you can sink your teeth into, so I'm renaming. We're not?
No, the shepherds are definitely going to.
Oh, we're not? We'll see.
I did say TV dinner earlier, so I guess I have to eat my words. I'm leaving now.
Yeah, we're voting you off the island.
Yeah. So you see kind of these gigantic bones sticking out of the ice. I'm picturing, rib cages the size of you, of course, because whales are very big. I don't know if people know that about whales. They're quite large.
Most of them.
Whales are
Didn't
big.
learn that in my
Citation
engineering
needed.
education.
I kind of picked it up as a trivia thing because my mom's in bio, but that's But yeah, you
You don't have a relative who's a biologist, you wouldn't know that whales were big. It's
exactly.
true. Or if you follow Nature Check.
Insider info.
Those are the hot tips that we're here
Come
for.
here for the best animal facts.
Whales are big. Coming for you, Tier Zoo.
Are we calling out Tier Zoo now?
No!
Wow, Tier
I
Zoo,
love
that
guy.
name is also going to be on our show eventually. Not this show, the other show.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. No, I do like that guy. We've hung out.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? You see some elephant bones, but they're not elephants, they're whales. I think is really just the scene I'm trying to evoke here is the elephant graveyard scene in The Lion King.
Of course.
There are no hyenas.
Yeah. Does the light touch here, though?
Yes.
That's important. Okay.
That is important. That's a key distinction. That's how you tell them apart.
Right.
That and the whales versus the elephants and the ice sand versus like the prairie rock or
Right.
whatever.
Hopefully there are no angry lions here or hyenas. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Maybe buried under
So give
meters
me
of ice.
Here we go. Unearth forgotten lore roll, which is lore. No wonder I was getting
Oh.
confused. Lore shows up twice here. I have the attention span of a very distractible marmot.
Very destructible marmot. This is not Islae's thing, so here we go.
That's okay.
Lore. Yeah.
Okay. You gain 1 data.
What was that,
And
Lissa?
you can ask.
No, that's just better when I try to roll force.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get a data, and I can ask
It
one of
has
these
this-
things. Ooh.
Mhm. It has a success table up front, and I like that.
Yeah. Oh dear. What dangers is it hiding? I'm feeling
Ooh,
spicy
what danger?
tonight.
Yeah, right. I hadn't necessarily planned out any dangers,
Oh,
but
wow. Maybe the answer is none.
no. No.
No.
No.
You do not. No.
Oh, the ice here is weak. It's starting to get weak.
Oh, that is both good and bad.
Yeah, all around you too. You just noticed.
I think we're about to have a surplus of fresh water.
Is it fresh water?
salt
Oh.
water.
It's salt
I'm not
water.
a waterologist.
Whales. Whales, bro. Whales.
Walologist? I think. Whales.
Whales, bro. Salt water.
Wow, we're learning so many facts about whales.
I know.
Also,
Well,
according to your thermometers, which you definitely have, that's an important piece of safety gear that everyone's got like attached to their wrist instead of a watch. Is just like a dial thermometer.
Not a Pip Boy.
Not a Pip Boy. No, it's just a little. It's
Oh, okay.
like a watch.
Like a watch.
Like a watch, but
a
it's
watch.
like a dial thermometer. It's
Cool.
gosh, look
More
at the
of a-
temperature. You say.
We'll call it a thought.
It's still very cold and
It's a
No,
thermometer.
let's not. What? It's still very cold.
Thermometer.
still
watch,
very
a thought.
cold, and as such, you don't necessarily. I mean, you're not an iceologist, but an aquologist. Anyhow,
I think a waterologist would also be an iceologist.
A waterologist.
Because
Exactly. You're not
their
a
phases are the
waterologist.
same.
The ice is weak and it shouldn't be at this temperature necessarily. So maybe there's some sort of effect from the other side of it.
Ooh.
Just
It's a good thing none of us are elevator operators because their next instinct would
Hypothesis.
be to jump up and down on it to see
Yeah.
if it's dirty.
Right. Yeah.
Only if they're a freshman. If they fill for the hazing.
Well, let's step carefully then, I guess.
Yeah, I would step carefully. You kind of.
Oh, also, Qui-Gon Bowers, in response to your what rhythm do you walk in, said 6'8".
There we are. That's a bad one for the worms, I'm pretty sure. But
I said
complex
5'3" because I like weird time signatures, but anyway.
time. Don't do this to me. I live with the music.
I know,
theorists.
that's
don't
why I'm
need
sharing it.
Co-wrote like some 1319 bullshit ones. Or I think the other way around, 1930. Fucking nonsense. It's fine. It's great. It's great. So it turns out that we have a move for finding a way across precarious or dangerous
We do.
terrain. Would you like to do that? Or
Yeah,
would you like to
that's-
attempt to retreat? Which is also kind of dangerous.
I want stuff.
I'd need that roll anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Forge a Path, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want
That's the one you're good at.
stuff. We want stuff. Well, it's not my best thing, but it's a pretty good thing.
It's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, a partial success. Yeah. You make the trip, but you pick two of the bad things.
Doop-a-doo. Taking longer than I expected, and the route is lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have to pick your way very carefully. And as you're kind of slowly making your way across this surprisingly weak ice shelf, yeah, what the hell? Kind of a crack cracks start to form behind you. A large crack forms in the ice, so that's why that way is lost. You feel kind of cracking several hundred meters long, but only, like a meter or so wide. Think in meters.
We're scientists.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's true. But if you look down into the crack, which is exciting, but maybe not, you see water. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know how much you want to investigate versus flee, but that's up to you.
Like, okay.
You don't feel too insecure right now. You're being careful.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's like how thick, like, so you said how long and how wide the crack is, but like how deep is the ice before there's water? Like,
probably only meter, maybe meter and a half. The water kind of rises very quickly up out of whatever sort of pneumatic pressure kind of caused this to happen. It's kind of forcing up. I think
more pneumatic.
It's
tubes,
announced
perhaps?
by just like a splash. Nope, pneumatic in the sense of fluids.
Do we have anything that can reach that water and sort of like?
Oh yeah,
investigate like a scientific instrument of some kind. And I look at Lissa, who might be the person to have something like that.
Wouldn't that be hydraulic rather than pneumatic?
Oh my goodness.
Specifically, yes, but hydraulics is a category of pneumatics. We can continue.
I've learned something else today.
See, stay for the science. Great, it's your tagline, Sheryl. We're on brand
Thanks
right now.
for being on brand, folks.
But yeah, I feel free to describe. Go ahead. You probably have whatever sort of tools you might. I don't think you're necessarily expecting exactly this, but a fairly standard, scientific experiment package doesn't seem wild.
Did you bring a Secchi disc with you?
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
I was about to say, what did I bring with me for scientific experiments?
A Secchi disc, for those of you who don't know, it's a disc, or sometimes it's just like a sticker in the bottom of a bucket, but it's got four, so it's got like an X in it, and two of the quarters are black and the other two are white, and you submerge it in the water at a standardized depth, and it shows you the turbidity of the water, or how much dissolved particulate is in the water, based on how well you can see the markings on the disc once it's submerged. Which isn't actually useful here. It was just the first,
very
I definitely didn't bring that, and I only know what that is because I dated someone who used it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Gorgeous.
Oh, man.
Probably some sample jars. Just like
sample jars.
Like a rope is probably the first way to interface with this, is lower a jar on a rope into it and pull some back.
Totally.
But you probably got,
thermometers. Sample jars, rope, thermometer, probably some sort of like scale.
Certainly an electronic one.
What one would reasonably carry in like one's pack.
I mean, you also
it's like a confocal would be cool, but like no.
What?
You brought some grad students with you to haul gear specifically, so as long as it's not room-sized and could reasonably fit.
Do you have one of those little
one backpack?
They look
like not a confocal.
Okay, fair enough. I don't
like the pH and or salinity meters that look like a big pen.
Oh,
that goes in your backpack.
Probably,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could probably have that.
Almost certain.
Yeah.
Question
coming
enough.
from someone who does like neural engineering, most of the stuff that we work with is not stuff that you would like carry.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Sheryl, likewise, you as somebody who knows science and more in this specific area, imagine any tool you want. What are you investigating?
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure. Yeah,
Let's
what we had
totally
to access it. So yeah, I would assume that you might have brought like a standard water like test kit sampling stuff to figure out all of the stuff about what the nutrient levels in the water are, the pH, the salinity, all of that stuff. I was especially
Good news. This water has 0 calories.
Maybe not that one, but yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a Home Depot still. They survived. It's very
Of course they
dystopian.
did. Not a sponsor.
No,
Yeah, I guess I was
explicitly not. They
specifically...
suck and I hate it.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm glad you said
Hot
it before I did.
takes.
Cut off the potential sponsor right at the knees. Let's go.
Like Stephen Colbert and Arby's. Yeah, I guess I was
Start
specifically
beef.
curious if there was anything we could tell from, doing a quick battery of tests on the water sample from, like, specifically the temperature and maybe the salinity, but, like, why it might be causing the ice to crack, since you said that the ice seemed to be cracking caused by something underneath
Yeah,
it
okay.
instead of
Just
above it.
to
Yeah.
kind of give you the full fullness of that, it's definitely there's some sort of heating going on underneath the ice, and as such it's only a few degrees below freezing. Super cooled probably, I figure, both because it's very salty, which is because it's seawater. That's but like hyper cooled seawater given the circumstances it's coming from, and as such I think would be higher in salinity because most of like what's around you is the fresh water frozen out, whereas the the real salty shit is what's like still liquid, and so it's kind of been eating away at the bottom of this ice shelf that kind of is in the bottom portion of the map. That kind of viewers, there's just kind of an ice shelf. I'll give it a little pink border for our players, but kind of that part, once we get towards the, things are melting, that will be kind of sea or ocean or whatever. They're the same as far as I'm concerned. I realize that they probably aren't. Anyone who knows the difference can speak up now.
I didn't do a video on the difference between seas and oceans. I did do one on the difference between ponds and lakes, though. Which is
remember that.
Xander's fault.
That was entirely my fault.
It was entirely your fault. Anyway. That's
enough.
a very long story.
Well, yeah,
getting into
you
it.
kind of... I probably should have made you roll something lore related, but I think that's...
Roll for
You know
science.
what? No, I don't. Yeah. That's kind of what you, with kind of what the tools you would probably have on hand, can kind of glean if you want to do a bit more, maybe a lower roll. But honestly, I think I've given up most of the information that's relevant at this moment.
I'm good with
Is
that.
that kind of, it's fractioning a little bit. You expect it to, start being like a sea at some point in the non-infinite future. I think we're hitting something resembling, actually you're equatorial, so it doesn't fucking matter what month it is, and at any rate that's not necessarily how any of this works anymore anyways. But cool.
But we've got soon to be water. Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of have soon to be water and but right now you're on a little bit of an iceberg that is fractioning, so that's not ideal. What a cliffhanger, actually, given that it's 4/7 or 5/7. We leave our party on a fractioning iceberg.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, and there's some danger behind too, which having a week to figure out, I'll love that. 2 weeks. Happy birthday to Xander. It's his birthday tomorrow. Everybody wish Xander a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does
Any last
Cheryl,
questions
take
or
us out.
comments from the play us off stage? Any questions or comments from the chat? Thanks for hanging out, Qui-Gon Bowers. I appreciate you, and anybody else who was watching, even if you didn't chat, we appreciate you for being here anyway. Qui-Gon also says happy birthday, Xander. All the love for Xander. Xander's goal is to make it to 5,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, Art Explains, by the end of his birthday. So I guess we've got a little over 24 hours to make that happen.
Make it happen.
I really like his ways your brain can break videos. So, like...
I'm a big fan of those as well, but I make them somewhat bit biased.
I hope you like them.
I don't like anything.
Wow.
One of the best things I remember from taking human anatomy was my professor saying, I've always thought the brain was really cool, but then I remember which body part it is that's doing the thinking. And then I feel like maybe that's a biased perspective.
Yeah, so don't forget, I play Minecraft on Wednesdays. I'm not sure if we're going to keep doing the horse breeding experiment. We have inconclusive results.
I was enjoying it the other day.
I appreciate that you were enjoying it. So we might build a ranch house for the Lonesome Doug Ranch, or we might keep going with the horse breeding, or maybe we'll build the botanical garden that Ryan requested. Because of course he did.
Of course he did.
And on next Saturday, so a week from today, we will be back on here with the Arda campaign. Guys, guess what? It's going to be the 20th episode of the Arda campaign. I'm not counting all of the times that we tried to stream and it didn't work. So this is the 20th functioning episode of the Arda campaign. And the 20th episode of the Arda campaign conveniently is coinciding with the 1-year anniversary of the Nature Check channel on Twitch. So it's going to be a great time.
That does make sense.
Yeah. It's going to be a great time.
Congrats.
Thanks. Well, here we are. So we appreciate all of you supporting us and hanging out with us. And yeah, we'll be around. So take care, stay safe, enjoy the holiday in the safest, smartest way you can, and we'll see you later. Bye.
And